Alright, seems to be a much better stream than yesterday, quality wise. I'll just turn this music down a bit. See how long it lasts. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of Backdrop Designer. How come I can hear it? Okay. Feel free to chat. I can see the chat on this laptop, and it should be starting. Now I'm using the Wacom tablet. It doesn't use any pressure sensitivity. You can completely use the mouse, but I just find it comfortable to use the pen. And that looks pretty good, so we're getting some good response from this. So what's Backdrop Designer? Well, it's a tool for making backdrops as well as sprites and pixel art stuff. I'm going to jump straight into the pixel art stuff just to get it out of the way. So up here there's this slider that switches through all these modes, and as it goes through these modes it swaps the palette, but you can choose whatever pixel ratio you like, and then you can override the palette. And what it's doing is it's detecting the original colors and in real time converting those to a different palette. But it doesn't break anything. You don't have to keep any of this stuff. You can always go back to the original by moving this to the left. Cool. So bring it into that. This here is like a grid mode. Now if you go above halfway with this, anything that you try and put down is going to snap to each little box. And this is all related to the Commodore 64's little blocks. If you want to snap to the grid pixels, you just bring it in front of halfway, and now it's just going to snap to each little pixel. Right, I can easily come back and I can see exactly what I've been doing there. Now I've grabbed one of these brushes, a whole bunch of pre-made brushes with 3 tones in them, and these 3 tones come from this here. So I put this down and then I click auto update. It means that anything I change here is going to change there, all except the scale. Now I'm thinking, what if I want to change the scale and the rotation and the size as well? Now that can be done, and I do want to kind of test that right now because it's something I've been wanting to do. So all I need to do is find the auto update. Auto. It's just me making a little change. Girlfriend's back, so I'm gonna have to jump off. As soon as the internet starts working, something else, you know. So anyway, auto color update. I want to check to see if that's. Hopefully she stands and chats for a while. Gives me peace. If this. Right, this is the one. So let's do the extra stuff. This would be like transforms. So A underscore rotation N is gonna equal, oops, plot rotation. Let's also do a, I think it's, yeah, for scale equals plot scale. Y something, Y scaling equals Y scaling. Is that it? I think it's just those 3. Oops, what did I do there? Yeah, okay, that's there, right. So as a little experimental additional thing, and that means we can now change things to do with that as well. So I'm going to put down this branch and just test this. So I'll do the auto update, and there we go. I can actually change these as well. So that's pretty handy. That is pretty handy. So I think I'll leave that in because I've always been thinking, well, what if I want to kind of make a slight adjustment to it? Normally you would just undo and then redo it. But it's kind of cool if you just want to do like a little kind of fine tune thing. Auto update. So auto update is going to work for your color. And you can pick any of these tones, these pre-made little tones here to get you started. And then you can swap them out for whatever. So it's basically changing up the colours in the brush, and I've deliberately made the red, green and blue obvious. You need to turn that off so you don't get the update. But that's working pretty well, I think. Right, X is going to flip X. I don't know if it gets that actually. Won't update if I do. It doesn't quite get that. Let's introduce that as well. So a X or flip X and equals flip X, and flip Y. It's just a little array that I use to store these values, because it plots all the brushes in real time. That's why there's a plot limit, because otherwise it would slow right down. There might be some other stuff I can introduce, but let's try make sure that's all good. So if I put a branch or something down and I decide, oh, I meant that to be the other way, I can just do auto update X, Y, yep, so all updates there. So you have to be mindful of that. But that's all cool because you're likely only going to use this to change some colours of something you just put down. Was there another thing? I wanted this, the previewer. You change the previewer only to be affected by blurriness. Instead of it, the colours being changed. So I will need some little checkboxes like colour, blur, alpha, whatever things I want this to affect. So that's going to be interesting. That is going to be a different addition to this. So yeah, I can go ahead and do Control Backspace to clear everything, or you can come up to here and do Reset. Right, and that will clear everything. We can change the sky. All these things are kind of obvious, so when you first come into this you can actually just try some different gradients. If I wanted like another bar in here, like the orange then something else, I can use the square brush. That was a nice square brush here, and the way the shader works, you can actually take these tones away into the transparent. If you put these all the way down, as long as there's no base, because the base is the base, right, that's just like a solid tone with these switched off, and then these start to introduce more tones, right? But I just want nothing, and then I'm looking at that, that's a bottom gradient, there's a mid gradient, so that's ideal. As long as I've got the wrap mode off, because problem with the wrap mode, if you make something too big, it starts to overlap itself. It's kind of obvious, but you can click this button and it will maximize it to fit vertically. Now I need to look at that to maximize horizontally as well, so that's another thing I could introduce in the future. But let's say we just want to introduce a different color, so I'm just going to choose like a yellow. I'll just right click on it so they all get yellow. I can then change the scale. Wonder if, no, nice try, but that's not. So what you need to do is just kind of eyeball it if you wanted this to be seen in wrap mode, but it doesn't really matter, because once this is down like that, and I like this background, I can basically use like a fast capture, and that's now gave me all of that as a new brush. I can do whatever with the background. because I've got this capture, there's a fast capture. Fast captures aren't stored, they're just there temporarily transferred to the brush. As soon as I change the brush, I'll lose it. So I want to plot it down, right? So I use this one here, it means it's going to expand to fit, and if I press W, it's now tiling. So that's what you do. If I did want to keep that gradient for the future, I can do with that being the only thing there, I can do a merge all, and that will give me that as a merge. There it is there, I actually filled that gap. You can't rename these just yet, but it has saved it to a folder. So with that there, I'm going to use a little pixel mode to see what this looks like with various pixels. We can do some dithering, some blending, see how it looks like that. Change the dither image, the range. We can change the palette. I'll do Overwrite Palette, start to go through some of these. This one's got double the amount of colours than that one. This one is Sega Master System, 48 colours. This one's a really nice custom palette that I've made. And yeah, we're just going through each palette. This one's black and white, teletext, ZX Spectrum, full 24-bit, and all you get is this sort of dither overlay. If you like that as an effect, you can actually go through these and see what they all look like, which is kind of nice, and you get this sort of blocky pixels from that. We've got a different palette. There she is, to save the day. How did it go? How did it go?
I didn't go to the minor injuries unit. I went first to see the pharmacist.
Right.
She recommended that I try and get an appointment at the doctor's tonight. They didn't have any available. She said, well, in the meantime, what you could do, take antihistamines.
Told you antihistamines.
But she did say, if it gets worse, then I need to go to the minor injuries unit or talk to my doctor tomorrow, because I might need antibiotics.
Alright. Cool.
So,
well, get an appointment, or just, is that a one you drop in again?
At 8 o'clock I'd have to try and get an appointment.
So that's how you change the pixels, and we get a nice pixel gradient that you can use for your old school style sky. And you see this ratio goes all the way up to 1280 by 800, which is like really hard to see. You can put the CRT effect over that, or over this one, or over that one, and you get this nice, weird waviness, because that's the way old TVs used to look. If you do use the CRT effect, I recommend the 640 by 400 ratios. It works better for both of those. As you can see, it just works nicer. But it is a bit busy on the eye, especially there. So I'm quite happy the stream's working. We can even go back to this mode. If I did like that gradient and I did want to capture it, again, I can just use fast capture, which will capture the pixels as well. Right, it's going to capture the shader as well. Click that. We got it on the brush. If you want to see the brush, just click up here, show brush, and there you go. We can come out of the pixel mode because we've got this captured. We can take the texture filter off to see it pixel perfect. We can plot it down like that, and then if I'm happy with it, I can either capture it with the capture brush way up here. Instead of me using merge, because merge you can't change the name, it just gives it a generic number, letters. So now I can give it a name. I can call this gradient sky pixel. Right, and if you're using the demo, you can also do this. It might have the name demo in there. Let's just see what happens if I try that. So I'm going to switch this into demo mode, just to see the limitation that you get if you do just want to muck about. If anyone's just joined the stream, feel free to chat. Right, so demo mode has this demo here, right? I still have access to my gradient sky, and as you can see, I can change the colors of that. I'm going to plot that down, and you can see I can do that, but I need to do auto update. and I can go between some tones here, and I can even change these tones into something else, go somewhere halfway, right? Now fast capture is actually going to give me, excuse me, do that again, fast capture, there we go. It's gave me the temporary brush without the label demo on it, but it's not stored it. And if I do a capture test, it also, by the looks of it, doesn't have the word demo on it. So that means if you go into the folder that these are in, and you would have declared which folder that is at the start when you first opened Backdrop Designer, you can then go there in demo mode, which is free. Like, so the only extra features you get without the, like when you buy the full thing, is you can export 3 times the HD resolution, 1, 2 or 3 times HD, so you get like massive detail. So Backdrop Designer, this is where I save the brushes. As you can see, test is there. Doesn't have the label demo on it, so the demo only stops you from saving. You can't export layers. What else can't you do? I mean, that doesn't stop you like hiding and merging stuff, but you can't undo a merge. So you'd have to think of other ways about that. You'd have to hide whatever layers you don't want, or whatever. If you wanted to, like for example, extract. Let's put this blue moon over here. So that's on a different layer. So if I did want to like capture that, I'd turn this one off, and I would do capture, because this gradient here is kind of excluded, right? You can actually do ignore backdrop, and you'll see that. And I can do something like this, and let's call it moon test, right? It's captured it as a brush here, and it's also put it into this folder with transparency. So there's nothing to stop you doing what you want. Now if I switch to pixel mode, you can see it's just turned the background black when there's no, when this ignore backdrop is on. And in pixel mode you can't capture transparency, it doesn't know about it, right? But you can do fast capture, control backspace. Let's just turn the sky back on, and you can take away this and bring the cutout up, and you'll get, let's just change the sky because it's hard to see it. You will get, why is that sky so miles away though? You'll get this brush, so then you can put that down. It's already got the pixel mode on it, see? Put that down, and then just grab capture it, and that's what stores it to a file, right? Just going to cancel that. I want to turn the texture filter off because I want it to be pixel perfect, right? And I can grab that and I call it pixel moon. So you can work around it, right? There's loads of ways to work around things to get what you want. There's the pixel moon and moon test, so you can end up with loads of pixely stuff in demo mode. The only other difference is it says demo, but it just means none of these highlight. Look, that doesn't highlight. You can only open, you can't save, export image, export layers, but there's ways around it, right? You can't, obviously because you can't export, you don't get the benefit of the upscale to HD resolutions. You get those extra pixels as well because of the ratio. But I hope you enjoyed this little demo. I do have to boost now, and I'll catch you in a future video, and hopefully you check out the stream. You can get this tool from the link below where it says Backdrop Designer or Background Designer, which it was formerly called, and you can just jump to the itch page, and I'll go up here, Backdrop Designer. It's $3.49 if you want to buy it, but you also can just grab demo? Should be a demo, free demo, free demo. How do you get the free demo? That's a good question. Or more. Where's the demo? Demo. There you go, you can get the demo there. So you can click that. Slightly older version, but I'll update that at some point. So it's a bit more stable, probably, but maybe not. But you can get a free demo and you can muck about with it. And I'd love to see what you make. Feel free to post anything in the Discord, so you can join the Discord server and you can post your work there. Thanks for watching this stream. I've uploaded this to YouTube because it's a pretty handy video, and that stream went pretty smooth. That is as smooth as it's been in a long time, with stable frames. I just installed a little internet booster, so that's probably helped. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.